shoes in incredible scents and nice vines. Black is Willie Burgers in Harlem and M&G late night soul food lines. Black is Harlem World and Disco Fever. Black is held back from unemployment. Black is disenfranchisement. Black is red line and marginalized voting, civil rights, and all kind of civil rights fights. Black is strange fruit being plucked from dead trees buried in undiscovered grave sites that have government skyscrapers scraping over wooden coffins on top of them, just like the oppression that their grandchildren merit would inherit. Black is a funky sing-along, jazz, hip house, and house music all night long. Jazz is just like black is the proliferation of black exploitation. Black is Shaft and Sweetback's badass song. Black is mambo, merengue, soca, bambo music. Black is Purple Rain that runs down black faces just like the tears of a clown while riding on a midnight train to Georgia. Black is being used to not having a dime. Black is that bullshit that they call black on black crime. Black is rhythm and blues and bada drum tunes. Black is poetry written and spoken. Black is Jim Crow cancel culture. Black is the story that is being told in the Bible. Black is the non-spat poetry from shy poets. Black is local weed spots. Black is Uncle Nearest whiskey shots. Black is jazz ballads and love sonnets and drabbles. Black is the reason that the day loves the night. Black is the toys that don't look like us. Black is us asking everyone, whose God are we supposed to trust? Black are the prayers that go unanswered. Black is Willie Ware, Carl Kanai, Fubu, and Virgil Abloh. Black is the father, the child of Billie Jean. Black is he who asks who is the man. And if you from Harlem, black is still Dapper Dan. Black is the funky drummer. Black is stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Black is Rakim when he said let the rhythm hit him. Black is sometimes absurd. Black is the slang that we say when we want to say another word and it becomes a daily word because we like the words when they say fresh, wildflower, and bold. Black is sexy women in all languages and high heels and tight shirts and cornrows and baby hair sideburns, bald head and afros and braids that go down to the middle of their backs. Black is cool to the touch. Black is silky, soul singer smooth. Black is the sounds of violins that they can't wait to make it after the tears of all these years because black is something that is thorough. Black is in every single inner city, starting with New York's 5 boroughs. Black is the reason that we shine. Black is the reason that there's a punchline in a poet's rhyme. Black are the 5 fingers of protest marches. Black are disregarded black monuments. Black is the calm in the face of malcontents without recompense constantly. Black is also the color, unfortunately, of police brutality. That you can't live here, so go on without me because black seems to be fabled, but black is also kind of profitable. Black is that fast break slam dunk, that slam dunk, Hail Mary touchdown, 3 balls, 2 strikes, grand slam, everybody wants the ahs and the oohs. Black is loving every inch of every single one of us from every single place we ever been from. But there's people who want all of that, but don't want our rhythm or blues. Black is the movement when no one wants to be civil to the marches. Black is the right to want to be treated like a man because I am American. Black is pacified blood protest marches. Black is being really noticeable when it's voting season, but our issues always get ignored for some stupid reason. Black seems to be the emotions that taste like peppermint sticks to crying babies with bad sweet tooth habits. Black is the easiest thing that we've ever done. The hated skin that sits down in the back of the bus where they say there's no niggas allowed. Black is our great grandparents that peacefully protest and always stood proud. Black is its own love language, cooked in chicken grease, cornbread, collard greens, and gravy, because black is who we have to be whenever it's hot, humid, and hazy. Black is broken backs, but not spirits during slavery. Black is the waves in our hearts after you get a haircut. Black is what you say in prayers when you look into the heavens and you say, God, why me? Black is having to always ask and demand for just the BS to stop. Black is asking Lady Justice to be fair to every single one of us when the law has always said they don't want no justice when it's just us. Black is always under attack just for being black, but black is having everything to live with when other people hated us for no damn reason, because for some stupid reason, it always seems to be hate black people season. And black isn't a disease. Black is as cool as a summer breeze and NBA threes. Black is the song that we sing when we need to remind you that black people damn near reinvented everything. Black is so wholesome. So to the rest of the planet, on behalf of black and black everywhere, you're welcome. And that's that piece.
I'm clapping. I have to come off mute to give you that clap.
I'm so excited. I forgot to myself. Thank you so much, Brother Jay Robinson. And you know what we're thankful for. Sometimes we don't realize that we're actually watching history. We're watching history unfold. You know, because the things that we do and the way we conduct our daily lives, we are setting a historical path for those that come after us. And one day we will be the ones that the spoken word will be about. We'll speak about you in loving terms, dear Rob, the next generation, because they'll learn from you. Thank you so much for your prayers, bro. And thank you for never, ever saying no whenever we ask you, not just us, but just about everybody who knows you. You're so accommodating and such a good brother to everyone. We appreciate you and love you.
I appreciate you all and love you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. So much.
Yes. And I do apologize to everyone. I don't know what happened with my phone, but now I'm on my iPad, so I'm able to see a little bit better. Okay, so for this evening, our keynote speaker, Brother Kevin Wardali. For those of us who know Kevin, know that I could read the Encyclopedia Britannica of his bio, and you know his Masonic bio, his work bio, but most of all, everyone knows Kevin to be a good brother and a true historian and a true proponent of Black history and the love of Blackness. Brother Kevin, within the fraternity of Masonry, he's currently an elected Grand Treasurer. He was a trustee twice. He spent 6 years as a trustee. He's been a Grand Librarian, you know, and his love of history, he was the perfect person at that time. He was a past worthy patron of this chapter from 2011 to 2013. Brother Wardali is an honorary member of numerous lodges, too many to recall. I don't want to cite anyone by not mentioning. Brother Wardali is also a published author with pieces in the Phylactics magazine. He helped create the most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge situational survey in 2009 and 10. That's something we probably even tell folks about that we don't know. Brother Kevin, he's just a great brother for historical consciousness. You know, when you hear him speak, you know how much he loved Black people, from politics to masonry to everything that he's involved in. Without further ado, Brother Kevin Wardali, the floor is yours.
Thank you, my good brother. I want to say thank you to my chapter, Electa chapter number 14, for inviting me this evening. My good Fave, can I share my screen? I've made a presentation of my speech, so it's more visual since we're using a visual medium.
Absolutely. Let me give you co-host access.
Good. Tell me when.
You are ready to go.
All right. All right, good evening, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Yes,
excellent.
sir.
Great, thank you. I want to talk a little bit about the wonderful sisters of the Order of Eastern Star and our Prince Hall family and how I feel that they have been hidden and neglected. As I began doing this research and continue to do this research, I always think of the first line. It shouldn't be this hard to find my sisters. And as Brother Errol said, I'm a former librarian and a historian by trade, and I could not find a single book written listing the important contributions or names of Eastern Stars of note, but several are Masons, and that's always been a bothersome to me. And when you go to Google and online searches, many of them were unreliable at best. Most websites do not have listings or have inaccurate information, or even if they'll tell you that someone was a member of our mighty order, they won't tell you what chapter they were made of or made in, and therefore it makes verification nearly impossible. And as a historian, that's always something that I try to do, is verify my facts as much as humanly possible. There are several books written by brothers. In fact, one written by a brother in a lodge right here in our jurisdiction in Antioch 66. Sister Christine Hackett once wrote, "The history of Black women in our organizations is very often hidden or neglected." And through researching for this and other talks, I found that statement to be very, very true and very sad. Brother Harry Williamson, who's the past grand historian of the Prince Hall Grand Lodge of State of New York, wrote, "We are the only group that hitches the star to craft masonry. The Prince Hall Order organized its Order of Eastern Star Grand Chapters alongside of its Grand Lodges to be truly adopted by them. So as our chapters go, so do our lodges." And it's an important understanding there, brother. It is my strong belief that if our chapters are not healthy and growing, then our lodges are sure to suffer. The goal of my lecture today is to really prove a few things, or at least attempt to. One, that the Order of Eastern Star Prince Hall is an organization which is older and more important than we realize in the scope and breadth of our community. That the Order of Eastern Star Prince Hall affiliated has produced some of the most important and accomplished female leaders in our struggle for equality of our people in this country. And the Order of Eastern Star Prince Hall history has been neglected and hidden for far too long. When you look at the Order of Eastern Star as an organization, it is one of the oldest organizations amongst women of color in this nation. And we often don't give it the respect that it's due. Think about that as a statement. It is one of, if not the oldest organization amongst women of color in this country. And I prove to be, you begin to look at the National Association of Colored Women's Clubs, which was actually founded in 1896 by Josephine St. Pierre Ruffin. And it's generally considered the oldest organization in history amongst people of color, amongst women of color. And by comparison, we find chapters in Washington, North Carolina, in Order of Eastern Star that date back to August 3rd, 1872. We find minutes that go back as far as 1872 in the Order of Eastern Star. Right? When you look at other organizations that have affected the African American women community, you look at the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women's Clubs, which was founded in 1934 by Emma Odessa Young. You look at the National Council of Negro Women, founded by Mary McLeod Bethune in 1935. And even more recently, the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, founded in 1970 by 24 women led by Edna Beach. All powerful organizations, all extensive histories in our community, and all significantly younger and pulling from the Order of Eastern Star. When you look at Eastern Star, if you choose to look at it as a sorority instead of a purely civil rights, social, and beneficial organization, you'll look at, even amongst so-called sororities, it's even older still. You look at the Daughters of Improvement Benevolent Protected Order, Elks of the World, which was founded in Norfolk, Virginia by Emma Kelly in July of 1903. Or the Daughters of Isis, which is the female auxiliary to the ancient Egyptian Arabic Order, Nobles of Mystic Shrine, founded in 1909 by representatives of various DOI groups and the Prince Hall Shriners. And of course, you look at Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, which was the first Greek letter sorority established in college at the Howard University in 1908 by a group of 16 students and Ethel Hedgeman Lyle. The National Temple, even of DOI, was founded in 1903 on September 9th. Now, a quick point of clarity. Past Grand Matron Marion E. Covington, in a report to the Phyllis chapter of the Philaxis Society, stated, that Prince Hall Freemasonry has always given credit to Queen Esther Chapter Number 1 in Washington, D.C. as the first chapter being organized on December 1st, 1874, in the home of and by Georgiana Thomas, for whom the grand chapter's name was adopted. Oftentimes, you'll see in December, people put up Happy Founders Day on December 1st, which I know drives lots of sisters crazy. And so you'll notice I didn't use that date. And why? Right? Because Sister Covington also went further to provide information by Brother Joseph Walt, where she gave documental evidence that there were handwritten minutes and early proceedings of a chapter of the Order of Eastern Star, Prince Hall, working in Washington, North Carolina before August 3rd, 1872. So several years before Queen Esther chapter. So that's why I choose to use the earlier date that we could actually prove rather than the later with Queen Esther, right? But let's be clear, North Carolina is home to the first Order of Eastern Star Prince Hall Grand Chapter. No dispute about that. North Carolina organized the first Grand Chapter of the Order of Eastern Star in the city of Washington, North Carolina in the year 1880. North Carolina at that time also had Jephthah Chapter Number 1, Ruth Chapter Number 2, Queen Esther Chapter Number 3, and Jephthah Chapter Number 4 in Wilmington. The first Grand Worthy Matron was Sister Julia Foy of Raleigh, North Carolina, and the first Grand Patron was Bishop James Walker Hood of Jephthah Chapter Number 1 in Washington, North Carolina. And Brother Hood also served as the Grand Master of North Carolina at that time. So when you look at the OES Prince Hall affiliated in its proper historical context, you can clearly see its important and its distinct place in the history of people of color. When you look at it on a timeline, even our earliest chapters and even the first grand chapter predate any other organization for Black women by almost 20 years. The Order of Eastern Star has produced some of the most important and accomplished female leaders in the struggle for equality of our people today. The next few slides highlight some of these incredible women in this organization. Each of them was a pioneer who did so much with so little. Many stars shine brightly, but I chose to just highlight 6 quick ones. The first I chose to highlight was Selena Sloan Butler. She was from Ruth Chapter Number 102 in Atlanta, Georgia. She was the founder of the National Congress of Colored Parents and Teachers Association. She was appointed by President Herbert Hoover to the White House Conference on Child Health and Protection in 1929. And during World War II, she organized the Red Cross's first Black women's chapter of the Gray Ladies, which still exists today. And when Congress merged the NCCPT and the National PTA in 1970, she was posthumously recognized as one of the organization's founders. This woman co-founded the PTA, the National Parent Teacher Association. At age 16, she graduated from Spelman Seminary, which later became Spelman College, with a diploma in 1888. And for my good sister, she was a member of Eta Sigma chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. As her son approached school age, she looked for a good preschool, and finding none, or in any other Black neighborhood of quality, she started a kindergarten in her own home. When her son entered elementary school, she began seeking ways to help parents get involved in their children's education. Finding support from other parents, she organized the first Black Parent Teacher Association in the United States at Young Street School. She was a delegate to the founding convention of the National Association of Colored Women, the organization I mentioned earlier. She was the first president of the Georgia Federation of Colored Women's Clubs. She was a member of the Georgia Commission on International and Interracial Cooperation. And she was a very faithful member of the Order of Eastern Star. And if you travel to the Georgia State Capitol, you'll see her portrait hangs there in the Capitol to this day. She was honored by the president, honored by the Red Cross, and by Spelman College. She was born with few material advantages, but through determinations and a sense of purpose, she was able to create institutions needed for other kids and her own children's welfare. In doing so, she served the needs of Black women and children worldwide. Next, I chose to look at past Grand Worthy Matron Vivian Osborne. She was the Grand Worthy Matron of the Golden State Grand Chapter, Prince Hall Right of Adoption, State of California from 1941 to 1945. She was a lifelong member of Queen Esther Chapter Number 4. She was a community activist and a government official. And she was considered one of the most influential African Americans in the San Francisco area of her time. When she applied to the University of California, Berkeley, because she was from the South and Black, they required her to take entrance exams, even though she had high grades leading into her schooling. She excelled so greatly at those exams that it helped to discontinue this policy of discriminating against Southern applicants and Black applicants. She received both a bachelor's and master's degree in anthropology, becoming among the first African Americans to receive a master's degree from UC Berkeley. She was also a charter member of Kappa chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, sorority incorporated on that campus. She also served as the 7th national president of Delta Sigma Theta from 1935 to 1939. Some of the projects she organized were a traveling library throughout rural portions of Georgia, an opportunity for underprivileged kids to visit events and symphonies and operas. She was elected president of the California State Association of Colored Women. Under her supervision, established the Fannie Weil Children's Home and Day Nursery in Oakland, which still exists. Was involved in the National Council of Negro Women, where as a state supervisor of the National Youth Administration, she helped define employment for unemployed Black youth during the Depression. In February 1981, the mayor of Berkeley declared it to be Vivian Osborne Marsh Day. She was the only Black person to ever christen a Navy cargo ship, and she died in 1986, having spent her life working for the community. Past Master Arlie Clara Watts Robbins, from Electa Chapter Number 1 of Chatham, Ontario. She was a dynamic historian, a premier curator, an author, and a member of the Phyllis Society of the Philaxis Society. She's a native of North Buxton, Chatham Municipality, which was the last stop on the Underground Railroad established in 1849. Sister Robbins enjoyed many years as a member of Electa Chapter, where she had the honor and privilege to serve as worthy matron. Electa Chapter Number 1 was one of the 5 original subordinate chapters present with the Grand Chapter of ODS for the province of Ontario and the state of Michigan was organized on August 30th, 1889 in the city of Chatham by the Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Ontario. She recorded the history of the city of Buxton in her book titled The Legacy to Buxton, which documented the struggles of freedom seekers escaping their brutal realities of being ex-slaves in America. She successfully tracked the genealogy of hundreds of Black families who arrived in southwestern Ontario before and after the Civil War. She's also the first Black woman to write the history of a Prince Hall Freemasonry jurisdiction, where she wrote Prince Hall Freemasonry and Ontario from 1852 to 1933. Only the second one to be commissioned in 1973 to review the records of a Prince Hall Grand Lodge for the purpose of writing their history. Her life and legacy continues to unfold. Past Grand Worthy Matron Mary L. Boyd Ford. In 1994, at the 83rd Imperial Court Session, she was honored as Illustrious Commanders of the Year. In May of 1982, Esteban Castillo, a brother of widow's son number 11, challenged her to organize and start a social club in the goal of becoming an ODS chapter. And as in all things in her life, she met that challenge. Emerald Club was formed in 1983, and on October 13th, 1984, they received their dispensation, and they were warranted as a full chapter on October 5th, 1985. And she had the honor of serving as its first worthy matron, and I believe she serves as its worthy matron today. She served on the Queens DA African American Advisory Council. She's a former county chairwoman for fundraising for the United Negro College Fund. She's the past president of the VFW Post in Springfield Gardens, Ladies Auxiliary to the Veterans of Foreign Wars. She's a former national chairperson of the American Association of Blacks in Energy. In 1995, she received the James E. Stewart Award, which is the highest level of recognition for a high achiever in the energy field. She's a former member of the Coalition of 100 Black Women, and she's a former member of the National Political Caucus of Black women. And let's not forget, she served as our Grand Worthy Matron for Eureka Grand Chapter, State of New York, from 2017 to 2019. Lastly, well, second to last, past Grand Worthy Matron Agnes B. Moody. She's the past Grand Matron of Eureka Grand Chapter, Prince Hall, Order of the Eastern Star, State of Illinois, where she served from 1899 to 1900. She was also their first Grand Treasurer. She's also their first most ancient Grand Matron, for those of us who belong to the Prince Hall Grand Court Clearmans of Jericho in Illinois. She was internationally known as Aunt Agnes, and she was nationally known as the first non-fictional Aunt Jemima. She ran the American Corn Kitchen, which was the most popular feature of the U.S. Agriculture Department during the 1900 Paris Universal Exhibition. She was described as a presiding genius across the world for her excellent skills in cooking and promoting the United States. She's a charter member of the National Association of Colored Women. She's a member of the John Brown Women Relief Corps. Her efforts to boost total exports to foreign countries were celebrated by presidents and kings alike. From 1891 to 1895, it is estimated that America exported more than 50 million bushels of corn and 166 million bushels of wheat. By 1900, 5 years later, those totals had increased to more than 176 million bushels of corn and nearly 180 million bushels of wheat, due largely to her efforts. And lastly, I would end with past matron Mary Morris Burnett Talbot. She was born in Oberlin, Ohio, September 17, 1866. She was an orator, an activist, a suffragist, and a reformer. She was the only Black woman in her graduating class from Oberlin College. And in 1899, she joined the historic Michigan Street Baptist Church in Buffalo. She quickly became a leader there and formed the Christian Cultural Congress and would serve as its president until her death in 1923. In 1899, she formed the Buffalo chapter of the Phyllis Wheatley Club of Colored Women, which provided a monthly pension to Underground Railroad leader Harry Tubman, and to her death, amongst many other accomplishments. In September 24th, 1904, she and other wives, sisters, and daughters and members of St. John's number 16 organized Naomi chapter in club form. And in 1906, they were designated Naomi chapter number 10 by Eureka Grand Chapter, Prince Hall Order of Eastern Stars. She was elected and served as their first worthy mention, during which she organized literary classes, civil rights forums, and public hygiene classes for her community. She later joined the National Association of Colored Women's Clubs and served as its national president from 1916 to 1920. During her tenure, she was also the first elected delegate to the International Council of Women in 1920. She lobbied for and obtained historical landmark status for the final home of abolitionist and educator Frederick Douglass. In April 1905, her and her husband hosted a meeting in her home, which gave birth to the Niagara Movement, which gave birth eventually to the NAACP. In 1910, after the Niagara Movement folded, she served as on the NAACP's board of directors and as its national vice president, and became a vocal leader against lynching in our country. In 1922, she became the first woman to be awarded the Spingarn Medal by the NAACP, given for outstanding life achievement for people of color in this country. She was also one of the first historians of her generation. She wrote extensively about the history and plight of Blacks. Her pieces were published in newspapers and journals across the country, and she published 2 books, The Achievement of Negro Women During the Past 50 Years in 1915, and The Life of Harry Tubman in 1918. She passed away on October 15, 1923, 82 years after her death. She was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame in Seneca Falls, New York, for her tireless efforts for women's rights and suffrage. Before I summarize and close, I want to give a quick message to the brothers. I'm not sure how many brothers are on this call, but I want to do something and say, brothers, honestly, we as brothers do a horrible job of supporting the sisters. We must do better. Without them, our lodges would be nothing. Our events would be empty, disorganized, and would probably look very basic. If you are a member of the chapter or a chapter, support it. If you are not in a chapter, join a chapter. The chapter needs your dues, it needs your support. And brothers, without them, whatever could we possibly be? I want to give special thanks to a few sisters who helped me find some information for this lecture. Sister Christine Hackett out of A to B Cleveland, chapter number 71 in San Diego, California. Pastor Matron Joyce Fuller, the editor, who's also the editor of the Phyllis Society newsletter. Pastor Matron Ann Huffman out of R.E. Williams, chapter number 54 in Jacksonville, Florida. In true OES fashion, I highlighted a mother, a daughter, a sister, a wife, and a widow. I also included a historian because I felt she had been overlooked for far too long. Let their stories and their inspiration inspire each of us to take time to revisit our glorious Order of Eastern Star past, because it's truly worthy of remembering, truly worth of sharing and truly worth celebrating and uplifting. I thank you for your time, and it's truly been my pleasure to serve my chapter, Electa number 14, as worthy patron. Now as a past patron and member, it is my honor to continue to be contributing member to the order as a whole, and I remain past patron and right worshipful Kevin P. Woodalley of Electa chapter number 14.
Outstanding.
Outstanding history, Kevin.
Thank you so much, past master, past patron. Pass me a couple of dollars, Wardalley. Just trying to be funny.
Anytime, Errol, anytime.
Thank you for that great history, you know, and I do hope that some of this resonates with our sisters. That listen, it's an honor to be a part of the Order of Eastern Stars. There are great folks who have walked this path before, and there will be great people in the future as there are present. Okay. At this time, I would like to introduce this young man who's a spoken word artist from the hybrid section of the Bronx. Through his poetry, he gives a voice to those growing up in low-income communities and growing up in poverty. He aspires to be a voice of the community that can create change and bring awareness to the creative writing process and how it can help get through tough times. That being said, brother Robert Cortijo. I'm sorry that if I didn't pronounce your name correctly, brother Roberto Cortijo.
Yep, you got it. You got it.
Okay, all right. I apologize.
No worries, no worries. So my name is Robert Cortijo. I'm Cynthia Cortijo's youngest brother. I use he said, I use my spoken word to, try to cope with anything that's going on in our society today. During these times, there's a lot of troubling things going on out there in the community, but this is our month, and this is something that we have to, we have to celebrate every single day, not just in a month, but every single day to celebrate. I'm an Afro-Latino young man from the hybrid section of the Bronx, but I do understand my roots and I know where I come from. What inspired this poem is Bomba y Plena, because I know that Bomba y Plena was inspired by, African roots. So I'm just gonna get right into it. It's a short piece, but it's very powerful to me. When I write these pieces, I try my best to especially when it's like event driven, I try my best to really tap into what my end goal is. When I look in the mirror, I see my ancestors singing hymns of their struggles. I see my father's blood, sweat, and tears. I see my mother's dream for a better dream. I see hundreds of years of oppression. They said, look at their darker complexion. I see the fight for equality. I see them labeling me as a minority. I see them trying to break me. You see, through my eyes, I see fight. I see courage that couldn't be broken. I see words that ain't mean to be spoken. I see reality when the only real vision is the one looking back at you. You see, when I look in the mirror, I see me. I see the thousands that came before me. I see my Afro-Latino ancestors dancing to the beat. I see my heritage. I see my culture. I see my pain as they sing for a better day, using the voices to pray as melodies never fade. You see, when I look in the mirror, I see my beautiful Black skin. My beautiful Black skin that turns heads when I speak a different language, that has overcome the obstacles placed right in front of me for centuries, bleeding to be accepted in a society that has questioned the power of my own voice. You see, when I look in the mirror, I hear their voices speaking through me. And I swear that with every breath I breathe, I will tell the story of my history. When I look in the mirror, I see who makes me, me. Thank you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Robert.
Robert,
that was great. That was great.
I'm such a fan. Oh my
It's my
God.
baby brother. My baby brother.
Worthy Mason, that's
Love
all
it.
of it, brother.
Go ahead, Robert. Dope, bro.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you. As always, I always perform for you guys, and I always get inspired a little bit more every single time from the people talking before me. I appreciate it for inviting me every single time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. I think this program turned out even better than we had expected. And it was because of all of you that have shown up, as well as our speakers, the poetry, the lesson. This is what Black history is, right? It's about tapping into it every single time and never forgetting and loving the skin that you're in. So I am very, very thankful for all of you that showed up. I just wanted to take a quick moment. I know we are a little bit after time, but I wanted to take a moment to let you guys know about what Electa Chapter 14 is hoping to do this year, some of the things that we have in order. I mean, you probably already know that a lot of the purpose of the chapter is to continuously serve. We are always about charity. We are always about truth, not just in the community, but within our organization, to be able to assist our brothers and sisters in any and every way possible, right? Charity does start at home. So that is absolutely one of our initiatives to continue to support each other. In that, we are also doing a program, one of the first things that we did, which is our wellness program. And you may have seen our first series, which is on nutrition. We do plan on having something come out every week on wellness, and um, hopefully it will serve people, it will give them information. It is a challenge for each and every one of us to choose wellness in our lives and to combat a lot of the illnesses that we have. Tomorrow happens to be Wear Red, National Wear Red Day, which is all about women and being heart healthy. So if you have your red, wear it, take pictures, let someone know, because it is one of the leading causes of death among women. And so I thank you all for being here. I hope that you have enjoyed our program. We do have a Women's History Month program coming up. And you know how it is, whatever little kinks we had in this one, we are going to take those out and make it even more fantastic. So if you can support us in that, we have some volunteer services, as you can see on the screen, that we do. And so we are always trying to be of service. And so we do have that coming up. In March, we do have our paint, wine, and jazz event, and that is going to be a fantastic time where we're going to be doing some wine tasting. We're going to be painting some glasses. We'll have some jazz music and a couple of other little surprises. So if you can save the date for that, which is March 19th. And then, as always, we have our Father Appreciation Scholarship Luncheon, which we do try and highlight brothers within the craft and without who have made a real impact. And we've always had a really good time with that. And we do have this year, we are doing our casino and shopping experience, which is titled the Ruth E. Miller Casino and Shopping Experience. And that date is November 5th. So save the date for that. And last but not least, I wanted to mention our scholarship program, which we always try and help young people who are in underprivileged neighborhoods to go to college. And so we have our $1,000 scholarship, which is the Margaret Harris Scholarship, as well as the Ruth E. Miller Book Scholarship. So all of this information is on our website. So if you haven't been there, please visit the website, which is electachapter14.org, where you can get the wellness seminar, the save the dates. You can volunteer with us to go out in the community and serve, and you can also help a child go to college. So thank you, and I will turn it back over to our worthy patron.
Thank you,
Oh,
worthy.
I'm sorry. It's actually my past matron, and it's time for prizes.
Hey, hi
Yeah.
everyone.
Which prizes are always in order.
Yes.
Yes, yes. You know, when you come to a program, you always come, you come with some gifts, some raffles.
Yes.
So this evening, if I'm not mistaken, we have 2 raffle prizes that we will be raffling off. And of course, in true Electa fashion, our winners will get to choose one of these 4 selective gifts. You can either go and be nice with your wine and a nice gift sets. If you're into cocktails and making them and getting them together, we have a 14-piece cocktail shaker set. For the men specifically, we have some Whiskey Stone gift sets. And of course, if you're into that nice little relaxing in the tub with some light music and jazz and stuff like that, we have a lavender earth and body set. So we do have a wheel of names. I will be sharing my screen. If you give me 1 minute.
As mentioned, we have 3 prizes.
3. Even
the
better,
worthy-
3 chances.
The worthy patron donated 2 and the worthy matron donated 1.
Look at this. Look at this leadership. Thank you so much for your donation. All right. Everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So everyone is on there on the screen, except for one person who came in a little late. Sorry, you missed that cut. So everyone except for obviously chapter members are engaged here. And I am going to shuffle this around a little bit just so that we can give everyone an opportunity. And of course, let's just spin this wheel and good luck to everyone. All right, is there Tiffany Brooks in the room?
Yes.
You're on?
Is Tiffany there?
Tiffany Brooks? Once,
For her.
twice. We're gonna remove her and give someone else a chance. Let's go, try this again. Ooh. Freeman Knox, I believe you are on. Am I correct?
Put him in the room.
He's on. All right. Well, congratulations, brother Knox. If you could do me a favor and just private message me on the chat and let me know which one of the 4 prizes you would like to receive, we will have it directly shipped to you.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Congratulations. I'm going to go now for the next round. Let me make sure.
We should have music when this thing is going around, right?
Yeah. Where's our new DJ? All right. Let's go. Let's see. I'm coming. I'm just trying to reshuffle it just to give, a little suspense here. Ooh. Kimberly Johnson. Sister Johnson, are you on?
On.
I saw you.
On.
Yes.
I guess she is on.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Excited.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Make sure that you send me in a private message. Let me know which one of the selections you would like to have received, and it will be directly shipped to you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
All right, and here we go. Let's do this a shuffle again.
Be sure to send your address as well so we could.
Yes, please. Yes, your address as well so that I can get that to you. Hold on. We're going for third and final prize. Is there a Gregory Mathis on the call? I don't think I didn't see the name. I'm looking for it in the chat.
I did not see him.
Okay, so we're gonna remove him and try this again, guys. Let's try this again. Ooh, Reina. I know Reina's on.
Yes.
Yes, congratulations, Reina. Again, please share your address, private message me with your address and the selection you would like to receive, and we'll get that to you. Want to thank everyone for being present, and of course, come again so you can try to win another prize. Thank you so much, Wedding Matrix.
Oh, congratulations to all the winners. I'm sorry if none of my coworkers won anything. We'll address that tomorrow. Okay. Well, this time we'll have another musical selection from our Sister Belle.
So this is your time to also participate, because we can't just be all about listeners. Part of what got us through history, part of what brought us forward, is being able to inspire one another, to encourage one another, to motivate one another, even through tears and through getting beaten while we protest and so forth. So we really have to know how to do something that is an African tradition known as call and response. And so the leader says something and the people sing back or answer back. And a lot of our songs are done in that same fashion. And so I want us to do one together. It was a civil rights song that was very often sung as people marched, but it was also a union song. So I know some of us in this room work for the city. Some of us may be retired like myself by now, but we work for the city. And so the union, when it does its marches, very often will go back to singing civil rights songs. And there's usually some hand clapping going on. So you can sing on your side. I don't mind if you unmute yourself, but we're going to join in together some kind of way. Okay, so it goes like this. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We're fighting for our freedom. We shall not be moved. We're fighting for our freedom. We shall not be moved. Fighting for our freedom. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. One more time. We shall not be moved. 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 Okay, and so we're gonna close out on a reach out and touch, because we know that at the end of the day, if we don't work together, if we don't love one another, if we don't take the time to touch one another by voice, by hand, by heart, that none of what we want to see achieved will happen. And so just a small chorus of reach out and touch. And I want you to feel it in your heart, though. Like, really, this is serious. Take a little time out your busy day to give encouragement to someone who's lost their way. Would I be talking to a stone. If I asked you to share a problem that's not your own, we can change things if we start giving. Why don't you reach out and touch somebody's hand? Make this world a better place. Y'all know it. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, last time, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can.
Beautiful, Sister Bell. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
At this time, it is my great pleasure to introduce my worthy matron, who I consider to be the best worthy matron.
Ooh, ooh.
My sister,
Good way.
worthy matron, Lachey Kyles. Go ahead, worthy matron.
I know we are over time, and I thank you all for hanging on. I just really wanted to give a quick acknowledgement of all of the sisters that are here this evening, all the chapters that have been represented. I know I have a lot of worthy matrons in the room. A lot, and first I'm going to just say my chapter members are the dopest to me. They are really the shoulders that I stand on when we bring programs like this together. It is because many hands make light work. And so I just first want to say thank you to my chapter members. And then I just want to give a really quick happy birthday to E. Marie Gales of Joppa number 30. Today is her birthday, and she came on this Zoom on her birthday. So thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
We have other sisters from Joppa 30 that are here. We do have Ada chapter 82, Alpha chapter number 1, Ashla chapter number 71, Beacon Light number 58, Carver chapter 65. We have Emerald chapter 81. We have Gardenia chapter 41, Golden Gate chapter 40, Ionic chapter number 77. We have Lewis Hayden chapter number 47, Lorelei chapter number 581, Meridian chapter number 67, Mount Tabor chapter number 35, Nassau chapter number 718, Omega chapter 25, Paramount chapter number 57, Poinsettia chapter number 76, Queen Beach chapter number 33. That's my California people, y'all. Rebecca chapter number 23, Ruth chapter number 8, Salt City chapter number 22, Silver Queen chapter number 43, Sunshine chapter number 43. All of these chapters are in the house, and I hope and pray that you have enjoyed the time with us, Electa chapter 14. We really would love to have you at our next functions, and we are looking forward to supporting you and looking forward to this wonderful 2022. So thank you, and back to my worthy patron for him to give greetings as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, worthy matron. I would also like to just thank all the brothers from so many different lodges that showed up. We truly appreciate you. We love you. I mean, this is a fantastic, and my heart is full. I'm happy to see all my brothers, and please forgive me if I don't call you by, worshipful master. I'm just saying, brothers, I love you from the lot, what can I say? I'm overwhelmed. be honest with you. And I also like to recognize past Grand Worthy patron Cujo. I don't know if we're still here, but
Yes, sir, I'm still
yes,
here.
yes.
Excellent program. Job well done.
Would you like to bring some remarks on behalf of,
Peace and love to all
yes,
of you present, and may God continue to guide and protect you. Thank you for inviting me to this great program.
yes, sir, and thank you. And if folks don't know the meaning of Cujo, we talk about African and Black history. That's a very meaningful name for those who don't know. And I learned that from a brother I was working with years ago when he used to call me Nana Cujo because I was born on a Monday. And he told me that means the king that was born on a Monday. So I know you were, I don't know what day you were born, but that's what your African name means.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, yes, sir. And I would also like to give a special shout out to past Grandmaster Span from New Jersey. I see that you're here. I don't know if you're still with us, but I saw that you popped in, and we really do appreciate that. Also, Senator Parker. I saw that he was here. Are you still on, Senator Parker? Okay. Well, that being said, I would also like to acknowledge all the past patrons of the Electa chapter that showed up. We do appreciate you, and I lean on you for advice and for guidance, to help and make this chapter and the whole New York jurisdiction just that much more better. I thank you all for coming out. And with that being said, I'm going to ask Sister Morrissey to give us a prayer, the closing prayer.
Pass me not, O gentle Savior. Hear my humble cry. While others thou art calling, please do not pass us by. Father God, we thank you for this time together, oh Father God, as we've come to celebrate that which you have created, oh Lord. It's a fellowship, oh Father God, and we thank you for this opportunity. And as we leave here tonight, oh Father God, may we not leave your sight and your presence. May we take with us those things that we have shared and learned tonight, and may we not be ashamed to share them with others, and most importantly, tell them of the God that we serve. In the marvelous, matchless name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Words Master. I think your program was fantastic. I see now. I do apologize that my phone wasn't functioning when we first started because I couldn't get a view of folks who were here. I see Words Master Caesar. Love you, brother, and I'll probably be at your communication Saturday.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, it has been an honor to have you here with us. And I know that I appreciate that you stayed on. I know we said an hour and it's been an hour and a half and it's in the middle of the week. So I am going to let you go on with your evening. And thank you again for everything. So have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Thank you everyone for coming. You can hang out with us for a little bit longer if you like. We appreciate you all. In Worthy Matron, Worthy Patron, wonderful program. Thank you for letting me work with you.
Fantastic evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a good time. And
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Again,
J-Rob, you should close
much.
us out with a poem.
I gotta
Off
find
the
something.
dome.
While we here, right? While
Off
we
the dome.
closing out. Come on.
I know you
Wow.
got one.
Wow. I was in a different space, but okay. What can I tell you about Black history that you don't already know or already heard? I can continue on and on and on, but I can go on and on for days and never say the same thing twice that you already didn't know once before. Give me an opportunity to tell you about my history, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about me. I could say it to you in French, I could tell it to you in Spanish, I could tell it to you in or. But when I finish telling you about this Black history, whether from any other country, every single one of you are going to be in awe. I'm only sitting here telling you a little bit about me. Anything that you already knew about me are things that you didn't know before I ever told you. I sit in front of Masons and Eastern Stars, Shriners, and everything before, but people will always say, can you give me more? I can give you anything that you ever asked for, but just understand me. I look behind me because I look down because I'm standing on the shoulders. When they look up, this is history. Everything about us has already been said, and there's so much more to do. Before I continue telling you more poetry about us in Black form, let me remind you that I love every single one of you. And I could tell you this story and make it go on and on and on. But please understand, when it comes to us, the sun never shines any brighter, the day never dawns. So before we go anything further than this, then I say to each and every one of you, God bless you all. Let me end this poem with one simple word. I do. Ashe. Peace and blessings.
Yes.
Never get enough of his poetry. I just
Do you
can't.
have information? Sorry, wait, Major. You have information, J. Rob, on your book?
Actually, yes.
How people can get your book? Can you put in that chat?
Actually, it'll be available at your next event because we're finishing the website, and there's actually 2 books.
Lovely.
I just want to let people know one is very traditional poetry and one is more adult poetry. So
Some of us have had the pleasure of reading your adult poetry, so
Well,
I
you
know
know,
I'm buying both.
listen, as they say, what the world needs now is love, sweet love, and more love.
this is
Your
gonna be really
poems
nice.
get it popping.
Yes.
Brother,
Wait, the matron, can we
J-Rob,
put those books on the price list?
also, I'm sorry.
Next time. Yes, if he says they're ready, then they're going on the prize list for sure.
Love you
Also,
all.
your
Listen, my show's about to
podcast,
start, so y'all have a good night,
Rob.
everybody.
Thank you so much, J. Rob. I can't
Wow,
say
that's
enough
amazing.
about how much I appreciate you.
I appreciate you all
All
more.
right. Have a good
Peace, y'all.
night.
Just put your podcast information out there too, brother, because
Oh,
it's coming.
I'll do that before I leave. Thank you.
Yeah, so we could all jump on too. Spend some more time with you.
Raina,
So
you
you
want a
you send
prize?
right, the past matron. Make sure you send her your address and the price that you want. If you need
I
a
got
reminder,
everybody already. I got all prizes. It's being typed for you all as we speak.
I love it.
For all the
Very
participants,
well.
I meant to tell you before the program was over, but for Sister Marion, our brother Wardali, brother Cortijo, and J. Rob, we thank you so much for your time, and we thank you for the love that you've shown us by being part of us and presenting some of our own history to us, some reminders. We thank you. I forgot to say that before the program was over. My bad, but I'm saying it now.
All right, we got it now.
In all honesty, without the invitation, the thank yous would never come. So the thank you actually comes for the invitation. And I'm absolutely humbled to no end that my brothers and sisters see something in what I put together to invite me to such. And I'm such a fan of Cynthia's brothers. It's unreal. But listen, I thank you and I love this chapter so much. I appreciate you all. I took the liberty of putting my radio show in the chat. We start in 30 minutes. So I got to get ready to hit the studio. You can listen online or you can call in and listen. And it's going to be a really wonderful night. So I hope to hear from you all. And I'll see you
Thank
all as we
you.
travel. Love you. Please take care of yourselves. And I love you all. And there's nothing you can do about it.
All
Peace,
right.
y'all.
Good night.
Thank
Okay,
you.
classmate.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate the thank you also.